Hello, dear learners. I hope that you are doing fine. On my side, I'm doing fine. Welcome to Eteta TV. My name is teacher Ramadhan Kidegesho. I'm here to teach you English orientation course. In this lesson, I will teach the part of identifying living and non-living things. Identifying living and non-living things. Dear learners, in our surroundings, all our surroundings contain both living and non-living things. So, what do you understand by the term living things? Hello? Yeah, living things, we can say these are organisms that have life and have ability to eat, grow, respire, and reproduce. These are organisms that have life and have ability to eat, grow, respire, excrete, and reproduce. So this is the living things. Such organisms include animals, plants, bacteria, fungus, bird, insect, fishes, and others. So we have a plenty of living organisms. Now, opposed to living things, non-living things do not have life. And the characteristics of non-living things are opposite of that of living things. They cannot eat. They cannot move from one place to another. They cannot reproduce. And they do not die. So these are some characteristics of non-living things. Right? Okay. Dear learners, I have a question here. Which of the following are living things and which are non-living things? I want you to identify the living things and non-living things among these organisms which I mentioned here. We have cat, table, spoon, bee, tree, man, metal, soil, fish, water, and bacteria. Okay. Now, let us see the characteristics of living things. We have a lot of characteristics, but these are some. The first, reproduction. The living things can reproduce offspring. Also, another is growth. The living things can grow. The living things also require nutrition. Nutrition means food. Here we have a plant and the animals. The plants make their own food, but the animals depend on other living things. Another characteristic is excretion. Excretion. The living things excrete the waste. But also, another is adaptation. The living things adapt the environment they are in order for their survival. Another is a movement or locomotion. The living things can move from one place to another without the external force. Another is respiration. It's all about breathing. The living things can inhale and exhale the air. So these are some characteristics of living things. As I told you that we have a lot of characteristics. So dear Lena, can you mention any other characteristics out of this which you know? It's okay. Dear Lena, from these sentences here, can you tell me characteristics that living things might possess? Here I have some sentences, so you have to tell me the characteristics in which the living things might possess. The first sentence is, all living things take food found around them to continue living. Can you tell me the characteristics of this? Another sentence, all living things move in some way, internal and external. Movement or locomotion. I mean, all living things can move in some way. It can be either internal movement or external movement. So tell me, what kind of characteristics is this? Another sentence, living things take in and give out air. What characteristic of living things is in this sentence? Another sentence here, living things grow and get bigger. And the last sentence, living things get offspring. It's my hope that you can tell me the characteristics that living things possess from these sentences here, which I read to you. Okay. Here I have some questions, dear learners, and it's my hope that you can attempt. The first question says, give at least 5 differences between living things and non-living things. So you can use the characteristics to differentiate between living things and non-living things. So I need only 5 differences between living things and non-living things. The second question, for each of the following, write 3 living organisms. Number 1, animal. Number 2, insect. Number 3, plant. Number 4, virus. Number 5, bacteria. And number 6, domestic animals. So, can you tell me, or can you give me the examples of living things which are in these I mentioned here. Okay, this is the question number 2. Here we have question number 3. Study one living thing you have at home and write about how it breathes, move, grow, feed, and reproduce. It might be you have a lot of animals or a lot of living things at your home. So you have to take one as a study case, then you have to write how that animal breathe, move, grow, feed, and reproduce. This point here marks the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching this video. You were with me, teacher Ramadhan Kidegesho. Remember to subscribe our